Hey folks, and welcome to this video in the Rhapsody Power Pack series. I'm Andy Lapping, and in this video I'll show you how you can run model checks against your models. Now Rhapsody of course has its own internal check model feature, which is extendable. You can write your own model checks and have Rhapsody run them. But that tool does have its limitations. Many of these checks are now outdated. It's cumbersome to find a check and disable it. There's no documentation on any of these checks and what they do. There's no facility to have the checks ignore specific model elements. There's very limited reporting and so on. The Rhapsody Power Pack Model Checker has all of that and more, and it is also extendable. You can write your own checks and have it run those in addition to or even instead of the ones supplied out of the box. To run it, select either the project or a package, and then you can use the right-click menu, Power Pack Model Checker, or if you're using Rhapsody 10, then there's also a toolbar button, a menu, and a shortcut key. Checks are organised into tabs over here on the right. Hovering over a check presents a tooltip with a short explanation of that check. Clicking that tooltip will open the full documentation page for that check. The out-of-the-box Power Pack checks provide documentation in HTML format, and by default, those are opened inside Rhapsody. That's an option here in the Options menu. If you prefer to open them in your system browser, then you can, and of course that's the default for Rhapsody 9, which doesn't support embedded web pages anyway. If you write your own checks, then you can provide your documentation in any format you want. If you prefer Word, PDF, Excel or anything else, the model checker will open the file when your users click the tooltip. Checks may be toggled on or off individually, or you can do that per panel, or you can even do it globally across all of the panels. Once the checks you want to run have been selected, you can store that information in a configuration file, which may be loaded in a future session. Additionally, when you save that file, you can choose to store that information in the model element from which you launched the model checker. So the next time the checker is launched from that model element, it is pre-configured to run a specific set of checks. For example, if we look at the locally overridden properties for this package, we can see it has a configuration file property. If I launch the model checker on that package, it configures itself to run the set of checks in that configuration file. So let's run those selected checks against the current scope. Results are organised into errors, warnings and informational items, and they may be filtered using a regular expression. The same check documentation we saw earlier is also accessible from any result. Double-clicking a result will highlight the model element in the browser and, if applicable, on a diagram. If you don't want to fix a problem now, results may be deferred, either for this session or for future sessions. If you have no intention of fixing an issue, then results may be accepted. To defer results for this session, select one or more of them and then click Defer. Those results are removed from the Results tab and added to the Deferred Results tab. Now, deferred results here are temporary. They allow us to focus on the things we want to fix during this session. If I were to close and then rerun the model checker, then those results would once again appear on the main Results tab. I can move deferred results back to that main Results tab using Undefer. To defer results across sessions, we'll select one or more and then click Defer in Model. Those results are moved to the Deferred in Model tab. If I close this model checker, and then we'll open it again on that same package, and then we'll have it rerun the checks. Now, those results are still on the Deferred in Model tab. That's because deferring a result in the model adds a tag to the failing model elements. We can locate that tag using the context menu. As with deferred checks and deferred results, I can move them back to the main results panel using undefer, which also then deletes that tag. Accepting results moves them to the Accepted in Model tab, and it tags them just like a deferred result. The only real difference here is that there is no unaccept button. It is expected that you would document the accepted tag with the reason why you don't intend to actually fix that issue. There are two table layouts in the Power Pack to view the model elements that have those deferred and accepted tags. A report of the check results may be exported out to a spreadsheet, and that includes a summary along with any temporary deferred results and a detailed results page for each category. Now, the model checker may also be run from a command line, so you could run it in batch overnight for large models and have it produce a report as part of that activity. Now, users may write their own checks for the model checker and either add them to the existing ones or replace them entirely. For example, if I select the custom checks and ports package here, and then click refresh, which is equivalent to closing and relaunching the model checker, note that there are now only two tabs. There are port checks, those are out of the box, and then sample checks are additional ones supplied by a user using a profile. All of this is fully documented, and the Power Pack includes a sample Eclipse project which you can use to get started writing your own checks. Well, that's it for this video. Over the course of this series, we'll explore the rest of the Rhapsody Power Pack features that will greatly improve your Rhapsody user experience. So please do subscribe if you want to be notified as those videos get published. But for now, thanks for watching.